And welcome to the top 8. Here we are, losing the die roll as usual against Wicked 95. Not sure what he's playing, but this hand seems perfectly good. Azorius, interesting. Land was an okay draw because we can ship extras to Tormenting Voice or play Flurry of Horns. Another land, interesting. So I think we just Dragon Fodder here. Wow, another land. Yeah, Dragon Fodder. What does he have? Another Tranquil Cove. Interesting. Blue-white control. Celestial Flare, Anticipate, Nullify. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Well, we get our damages in. Could have Nullify. But I just run my creature out there anyway, and he does absolutely nothing. Wow. Divination. That I like seeing that. That lets me be the aggressor here. So, wow. Okay, there we go. Swiftwater Cliffs. So he's probably on Jeskai control, and he's gained 4 life off his lands. So that's interessante. So here, I can't play Flurry of Horns this turn, so I probably just play Tormenting Voice, ship a land. Yep. And I hit 2 more lands. Okay. So I can't play an untapped land and be able to play Soul Dice Scavenger, so I probably just play my tap land. Yep. And then I bash him for 5. Down to 17. Alright, let's see what he plays. Magma Stray. Okay, so he finally has his red mana. Gets rid of my 2/1, but other than that, again, I have a 1/1 that survived. Another Tormenting Voice, pretty good card. I think I'm a little scared to run out Flurry of Horns here, since I don't have that much pressure on him. He has a lot of cards in hand. I do want to play something though. I don't want to let him like Weave Fate or Anticipate end of turn. So I have all these extra lands. I'll save the Radiant Fountain, just cast Tormenting Voice. He goes for the negate. Okay. He still has Nullify mana open, but I figure I might as well try Sultai Scavenger now, since it's only cost me 3 delve. Yeah, it resolves. So he's got no nullifies, but he's got the removal spells, so I keep bashing him for 3. I figure he has no nullify, but he might have cancel. So I'll just run it out there. No cancel. Maybe he has like Scouring Sands main and wants me to play all these dumb creatures, or he's just content letting me build up 1/1s. He's gonna Treasure Cruise. That's perfectly fine with me. So now I can just Lightning Strike him down to 8. He draws his cards. Doesn't have another land. Doesn't have enough mana to counter Flurry of the Horns with a negate. And that makes 2 2/2s. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in play. So, yep. So this was actually a perfect example of, I think, how this deck would have done better, for example, than other aggro decks, especially like the Rakdos Bully deck. He played Spray, Strike, Spray, where if I had Borderland Ranger and Majoring Bully, those cards would have just been 1-for-1s, whereas my Dragon Fodders and Gear Crafters were able to make some of these extraneous cards that were able to deal him damage and put pressure on him so much that he felt compelled he had to tap out for basically a Treasure Cruise just to catch up, which put him dead to Flurry of Horns, which is again just a sick finisher because it's a 4-point burn spell that requires 2 cards to answer for the following turns. So pretty textbook game, I thought, right there. Let's go to game 2. On the Drizzaw. Sand seems pretty okay, but we get to play a tap land. Probably gonna search for Swamp, for Sign in Blood and Duress. We draw the Sign in Blood, but I want to play some cards first and put some pressure on him, since we are the aggro deck against him. Just trying to put pressure. No divination. Interesting. So And he didn't search for a red land. It's weird. So I'm a little tentative to do anything, but I don't have any other play that turn. But he does have Anticipate. Probably going to play a red land. There it is. Now that we have 3 mana with a tap land available. Yeah, we can't play these Furries or this Scavenger. We can either play Read or Sign. Probably play Read, since it's mana efficient. But we play Sign just because I thought he might cancel it. He might cancel Read the Bones and cancel Read the Bones, but Sign is worse, so I figured I'd lead with my worst spell and just draw whatever. I figured lands and spells are good. Ooh, I like this. Scouring Sands, my, 1-for-1 me. Not that bad. So I find Montana. Here, I guess I try to Read the Bones again. This, I hope he negates, then I can land a 3/3. But he doesn't. Double Tormenting Voice. Jeez, so I have kind of a lot of cards in hand. I think that's okay, because I want to discard maybe a card in hand. But I put one on top and one on bottom. The 5th card goes to the graveyard, so I'm allowed to play my Scavenger and a land. Puts me down to 7 cards in hand. And he didn't have Nullify mana, so that's pretty good. End of turn Voyaging, and my guy is kind of annoying though, because it resets my Delve and I have to discard. So I get rid of Butcher's Glee, mainly because I don't think it's good against his deck, and probably shouldn't have brought it in. Yeah. So really I just want to present threats. So I'm going to Tormenting Voice, getting rid of a Scavenger. I have tons of Delve guys anyway, so Tormenting Voice is going to help me cast some of these cards. I do hit Duress, which is pretty sweet. I think I should probably lead with that. But I don't. I think I just lead with a 3/3 since he knows I have it, so I really like just kind of like showing them, what they know. And he has to cancel for it. So I'm actually totally okay with that, because that's just a 1-for-1. Okay, Dragon Fodder. I like that. So I lead with Duress here, hoping to get a negate, which is good. But I don't see the rest of his hand, so he could have another negate, which is kind of annoying. I can't play Flurry of Horns, but I guess I'm going to play Dragon Fodder. Get some value of creatures into play. And then I'm going to play this Tormenting Voice, probably discarding Read the Bones, since I don't really need to keep drawing cards. I have plenty of threats, yeah. Any 2 cards will do. Land Butcher's Glee is not the best, so Read the Bones probably would have been a fine card to keep in hand. Maybe get rid of this Vulturous Haven. But I figure that counts as 2 cards anyway, and potentially a threat, so maybe it is better to Read the Bones. So plays Divination, and then almost taps out but doesn't. So I get a sweet spot here, I think, where I can definitely guaranteed Flurry, Bash for 6, and guaranteed Resolve and Angler. So these are spells that normally he has to counter, and they cost me, 7 and 5 mana. So I have to take the opportunity to basically cast them, and now he's got a lot to deal with. So he kind of needs to Treasure Cruise to start here, then he needs it Pillar of Light, and then nothing, he's just taking a lot of damage. So Last Breath kills one of my 2/3s, but that's not very good. And then Scouring Sands kills my 2 1/1s, but again, you're kind of seeing the lack of the ubiquity of removal of the Jeskai control deck, just not matching up to my threats very well. So again, Flurry, this is just textbook, just take 11, go to 2, there's just nothing he can do. So Butcher's Glee is just kind of not necessary against this deck. We just play 2-for-1s and a bunch of creatures, and he can't he takes damage from them, so he can't let me build a board presence, because all my things have 5, 3, or 1 toughness. So, and he can't draw cards fast enough to keep up. Everything's kind of mana intensive for him. So Yeah, I definitely like this deck a lot more than Jeskai Control. I actually don't know which deck is better, Rakdos Grind or my is it Control deck that I won with the previous week. They seem like almost like the same exact deck. Instead of playing scavenge spells aggressively, you're playing Treasure Cruise and answering the opponent's spells. Um, so I'm actually really interested in that matchup. I think the Izzet deck might be a little bit better, but I don't know. So that was the what was that, the quarterfinals, top 8. So stay tuned. We'll be here, top 4.